Alright, so in this video, we'll see how to do variance analysis questions without memorizing the formulas. So for that, we need to understand few things that will always move from left to right. From the left to right. And let's write down a few things like A, B, and P, Q. So PQ, it's our computation, and AB is the order. I'll explain. And if there are more than one input, we'll add one more thing here, which is M and Y. Just one extra point. So we'll just have one formula which will take care of price, quantity, yield, and mix. All four formula will be taken care, and with that we will be able to apply it to material, labor, variable overhead, and the sales variance. There is only one variance which we can't apply it because there's a slightly different formula here. So first, let me tell you this variance basic formula is A minus B, which we can get from here. A stands for actual minus B. B is for budget, and also we can replace B for the word standard. So the variance formula becomes actual minus standard. Now we are over with it. We can go ahead and see how the formula works. Okay, so now we'll see the formula for material variance. We see this PQ is for the computation, which we'll do on both the sides. So we'll write down this P stands for price and quantity. So this is the computation on the left side, and this is the computation on the right side. Here also we'll write down P to Q. Now see the orders. Actual comes in the left and the standard comes in the right. So we'll apply actual price into actual quantity, and in the right, standard price multiplied by standard quantity. Fine. And we have to pick this left side and this side right. And we'll take these two things like from here we took actual quantity, and from here we took standard price. Done. Now, like we have understood that we'll always move from left to right, A minus B. That's the order which we'll do. So this part is called as the price variance. Price variance, and this is P, and this is Q, which is the quantity variance. Quantity variance, and the formula will always go from left to right. Now see the formula AP into AQ minus AQ minus SP. Let's write down here AP multiplied by AQ minus AQ multiplied by SP. Here you see the AQ is common to both here, so we'll take AQ common, and the formula becomes AP minus SP. Done. And here for quantity variance, we'll move from left to right. So AQ into SP minus SP into SQ. So the common part we got as SP. So we'll take SP, standard price, as common, and here we'll get actual quantity minus standard quantity. And if we add this two, if we add price variance plus quantity variance, we'll get here total material variance. That will be equal to this AP into AQ minus SP into SQ, which comes from here, this part minus this part entirely. So all these formulas we don't have to remember. If we just understand the order, we can reconstruct it. Now if we'll go to more than one input, fine. Now let's just take this formula, this price variance AQ AP minus SP. So let's write it down here, price variance. Okay, this is price variance and this is quantity variance. Formula we don't have to remember, we'll take it from here, price variance AQ AP minus SP. The quantity variance will get SP AQ minus SQ. Now when there will be more than one input, this quantity variance will again be categorized into two parts. What are those parts? There will be mix variance and yield variance. Mix variance MY, mix variance will come first, then it will be yield variance. So let's write down here, first is the mix variance, second one is the yield variance, the YIELD, yield variance. For this mix and yield, we'll introduce one more term in place of price only. So price will be replaced by a term known as WASP, weighted average standard price. Why? Because there is more than one input. So this weighted average standard price, that is again of two types. It could be actual, or there would be weighted average standard price standard, WASP A and WASP actual and WASP standard. So what we'll do here, just see the order. This quantity will be same. Just think that this quantity will remain same, AQ. Here the quantity is AQ minus SQ. That will be same. So we'll keep the quantity as same, AQ. In place of actual price minus standard price will be replacing the WASP. So here it will be WASP. We'll see how to do this, WASP A minus WASP S. Now we are just remembering the formula. Here see, quantity will remain same. What is the quantity here? AQ minus SQ. That's the quantity which will be same, and into there is SP here, standard price, and we are just replacing price here. So WASP standard. Okay, suppose this mix variance is 20, just a number, and this yield variance is 30. Then we have to add these two to get the quantity variance. So quantity variance will be 50. And if the quantity variance is 50 and the price variance is 10, then we have to add this to 50 plus 10. Total material variance will be equal to 60. That's the thing we need to understand. Next important point, this is just the only formula which will be applicable across all material, labor, sales, variable overhead, everywhere. One more thing which we need to understand, that variance formula is what? Variance is equal to actual minus standard. So in this case, when the actual cost is low, let's say this becomes 80, this is 100, and this is higher, means 120. So this actual minus standard will be minus 20. So when the cost variance comes in the negative range, that's actually a favorable one. And when the cost variance it becomes positive, plus 20, then it becomes unfavorable. That means if we incur less cost, that's favorable. If we incur high cost, then the standard it's unfavorable. And the opposite will happen for the sales here. If this is the standard sale 100, this is the actual sale 80, and this is the actual 120. So if there is higher sales, so here in this case variance will be actual minus standard. So in this case first 120 if we take, then minus 100, so it becomes plus 20. So higher sales, here you can see in this green, is a favorable variance. So a positive number will give us a favorable one. And if the actual becomes 80 minus 100 will get minus 20, this becomes unfavorable. That means if our actual sales is higher, it's favorable, and if our actual cost is lower, then it becomes favorable. So in another class, we'll do all types of example, starting from raw material, labor, variable overhead, and the sales variance, including mix and yield variance, so that you will know how this formula can be applied across all the variance questions you will get, and you don't have to remember. Thank you so much for watching.